All right, a pleasure to be joined by a couple of great gentlemen here who are with us on ESPN Fresno. Robert Gallery joining me, as well as BJ Ganem here, representing Athletes for Care. And guys, it's great to have you here on this Friday. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having us.
Doing great.
Fantastic to have you. Of course, we're Raider Station, so glad to have a former Raider on. And, of course, here with BJ. And, Robert, tell us a little bit about Athletes for Care and who we have next to us here
today.
So
after my post-career, I went through the post-career struggles that everyone goes through with lack of identity and all these things, and then found out that I had a ton of brain damage from all the TBI and head trauma throughout my playing career, and that led to some healing that I found, alternative healing through psychedelic-assisted therapy with ibogaine, and I did that healing with a lot of veterans who have been going through it because there's a lot of crossover in our two communities. And so I started Athletes for Care to bring awareness to athletes, all right, and other people that there are options out there to help with these things, the depression, the suicide, all these things that come from TBI. And through this, we created a relationship with DAV, Disabled American Veterans, and their organization that's been around 100 years, and was introduced to BJ here, and BJ has been a part of the flag football game, amputee flag football game that was put on for about 10 years before it took a break for COVID, and we decided we wanted to do something to bring our two communities, show what we're doing, support each other, and to bring awareness to people. And so bringing back the flag football game, it's the DAV Bowl, sponsored by DAV at dav.org. And we're excited to be here talking about it.
BJ, speak about the partnership,
Yeah.
right, between DAV and Athletes for Care, right? Flag football game with the veterans, right? Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing here this week, and from your perspective on the partnership between you.
I mean, it's so amazing. I mean, one, it's the ultimate fantasy camp, right? Take the field. I mean, I've caught passes from Roger Staubach, Michael Vick. I've tried to tackle Ricky Williams, though he's really, really fast.
He's hard to tackle.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. It's just been so much fun, and the camaraderie, the organic camaraderie that we built. I mean, to make it in the military, performing at a high level as an infantry Marine, for these guys to make it into the NFL at a high level, that's less than 1% of the population, and so it feels good when there's somebody else that knows that feeling of losing their identity when they took the uniform off,
right,
and not being ready. I got blown up in Iraq in 2004, and I was 9 years into my military career, and I just wasn't ready. And I'm sure it was probably the same for Robert when he got hurt towards the end. You want to keep going, especially you got to the Patriots right at the end. So
yeah,
it's that it hurts in a way, and I know there's people out there like, oh, well, that's not such a big deal. It's a big deal.
right.
Especially when you're battering the brain injuries, and that's where organizations like DAV and Athletes for Care really help bring those resources together, and why this game, the DAV Bowl, is so important, that we can offer people to come have fun first, and then let's talk about how we can get a little better.
And you mentioned kind of the identity loss a little bit, right? Because you know what you can be capable of, and then when something happens like that, it just kind of strips you of your ability, not just for yourself, but for the people you were around and you support, and teammates, essentially, right, in that sense. Is that kind of the way you look at it in that sense? And
Absolutely. When it's gone, right, it's gone. You lose that community, you lose that locker room, that sense of belonging is something, because that's all we did for a lot of years in our own careers. So when you lose that, right, it's hard to figure out how to fix that. Although, you have a family at home and have these things, you lose that, that identity and that feeling. And so, top that on top of dealing with your brain not working correctly because of damage, can lead down a dark path. And so we're here to just share our stories and build this community and raise awareness.
The stigma of mental health, we're continuing to break it down, and BJ, I'm sure you've seen the changes throughout the years of the stigma of it. What are the signs that are indicating to you that this is something we're progressing to in a better way, maybe from like 15 years ago when we were dealing with it?
Yeah, so when I first got injured, I did all the stereotypical things. I drank too much, got in trouble, ended up having a bad divorce, was facing bankruptcy. And it was just a reaction to, again, the brain injuries. It's the brain fog. You're really not yourself. But having those people in your life that can really call you out. But I think we're doing better. We're definitely talking about it. So one of the things that I always try to point out is that I want veterans to realize we don't need to focus on veterans and disability all the time. That's one of the things I love about the DAV is if you see a lot of their billboards, we got the red line through the disc. It's not that it's not important, but we can't make it the most important because we still have a lot left in the tank. And that's one of the things that we want to get out there is that, we got to be vulnerable. We got to be honest, and we got to do the work.
Yeah.
There's no easy way through this, so there is going to be work required. And it's not so many times how many times you fall down. It's how many times you get up. And that's what I want to get across, because what worries me is I see all these commercials about here's the quick pill to get you better right away, and we don't want that. And that's one of the things that Ibogaine, I think, really does, is that a lot of my friends that have participated in it, similar to Robert, they did it once or twice, and then that was it. Sometimes maybe 3 times, but this isn't a drug. From what I hear, I haven't done it yet, but everybody confirms it's not a drug you want to do for fun.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
But it does, and Robert can speak to it about how it helped him rewire his brain.
Well, I'll let you speak to it, Robert, if you want to step in there, Ron.
Yeah, no, it is. I tried everything in modern medicine for about a year and a half, working with doctors and specialists to try and get rid of the brain fog and the mood swings and the suicidal thoughts, and none of it worked. And so this medicine, right, it is a African shrub root, right? It has been used for addiction for many years. It's at one point it was made a Schedule 1, but it is a medicine, and so they're proving through studies with Stanford and other big top-notch organizations, places, that it actually does help rewire your brain, helps create new white brain matter, helps fix repaired areas of your brain. And so dealing with PTSD, all these things that a lot of us deal with, it has been a huge push on it here the last few years, and that's something that saved my life, and so that's why I'm so passionate about it and help getting it to where everyone can use it.
Let's preview the DAV Bowl. Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
Tickets free, completely free out at Cappuccino High School in San Bruno.
Exactly.
And what can people expect when they're going to go watch this game tomorrow?
I mean, you're going to see fun, something similar to more like the Harlem Globetrotters or the Savannah Bananas, and it's. I think you're going to see some authentic caring. It's. I'm just always taken aback at some of these big names and all these players that I know get pulled in all these different directions. You see where they get pulled to, and they take the time to show up and play this game with us. It means a lot to us. It really helps us understand that what we did is important.
Yeah.
And again, like what we try to remind them is what they did was important, because that was, especially when we were in Iraq, I remember we heard like the Houston Astros won the World Series. It turns out that year was the Boston Red Sox won it. So it was hard to get the scores of your favorite teams, and when we had a chance, we were always in boots and utes playing football, trying to emulate these guys, and now we get a chance to come out there tomorrow, thanks to the DAV and Athletes for Care at Cappuccino High, and put on a great show for everybody.
Robert, what are you looking forward to tomorrow's game? The whole experience with that?
I just think being around these guys and these men and women, right, and throwing the football around a little bit. I got my shoulder replaced here about a year ago, so I think I can throw passes now. So I'm looking forward to just get out and run around and just being around the community.
The community, the Bay Area community, which you were part of for quite some time too. It's exciting to be back here, right, and be in the area where, we got the game in a couple days. What is it like just to be familiarized back with the Bay Area?
That's great. Obviously, as you said, spent a lot of time here, know a lot of people here still, and this is such a great community. There's so many different areas, right, in this Bay Area, so many different groups of people and things going on, but this area is very supportive, always has been. They love their sports. Just great people here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
I want to break it down to the last question here before I let you go. Let's get some thoughts on this game coming up Sunday. Robert, you focused on the O-line guys, but what are you breaking down here? And then I'll get BJ's opinion here next.
I like both sides of the ball. Their offensive line, they play the game the right way. They have good scheme, this type of scheme I like to play, run first, and they're both playing well as a unit. So, I played some games for Seattle, so I'm going to go with Seattle, but excited to see this matchup.
What do you got, BJ?
Same with Robert. I mean, these teams are playing exactly what I like to see. Smash mouth football.
Defense is back.
Defense is back. I mean, I love it. It's good. But I'm going with the Patriots. I really like what Vrabel's doing. I liked him as a player. And I just have some connections there in Boston and the New England area that I just want to root for this. And plus, they're the red, white, and blue. Nothing against the Seahawks, but, hey, if we're going to root for something, let's root for the Patriots.
American 250, right?
That's
you got to
right.
get the red, white, and blue out there in terms of this. So maybe it's all coming together. Who knows? But, guys, I appreciate it as always. Once again, info out there, DAV Bowl tomorrow. Gates open 10 a.m. Kickoff is at 12:30 if you're in the area at San Bruno, California, Cappuccino High School. And the ticket's free.
It's free.
Free to get in.
Come on out and support.
Yeah, should be good. Guys, I appreciate it as always, and thanks for stopping by ESPN Fresno.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much.